Devon County Council is responsible for 365 schools across an area of about 2,500 square miles. And the way it works in England is that schools are responsible for managing their own budgets, managing their own curriculums, managing their own staff. So the local authority is there to help, support and guide schools. It doesn't run them. And it's very important to understand that about Broadclyst. The governors and the head teacher are responsible for the direction of the school. I think one of the things that, as a local authority, we established with the school quite early on was that we wanted to regard it as a bit of a laboratory, somewhere to generate and apply new ideas, somewhere where the school staff and the governors could dare to be unorthodox and take risks. I think we were always confident that the leadership and management of the school had the best interests of the children at heart, and what they were doing they genuinely felt was going to advance the learning of the children in their care. So we didn't see it as that sort of risk. If it's any sort of risk, it was going against the prevailing educational orthodoxy at a time when in the UK the government was introducing a series of national strategies for the teaching of literacy and numeracy, which had a very set format. It specified the times of lessons, how lessons should be divided, what materials the teachers should use, what pedagogical techniques should be used. And Broadclyst said, effectively, actually, we don't think that's going to work in our context. We want to do something different. I think there are a lot of educational leaders who probably feel the same about the process of education and feel stifled by working in a system which tells them how to do their jobs. I think Broadclyst dared to be different, and it had the courage of its convictions. It had a very supportive group of parents and school governors largely drawn from parents in the UK, who were prepared to back the professional judgment of the head teacher and the deputy head teacher in the school, and to say, this is what we want for our children. And Peter, right from the start, when I went to the school, was saying, this isn't about sitting children in front of screens. I'm interested in their broader educational experience, and therefore the school puts a big accent on music, very big accent on the visual arts as well, and on the outdoors. And they've actually not been totally bamboozled and wowed by that technology. They've got an educational vision, and the technology is a means to achieving the educational vision. And one of the things the school did was to say that we want this for all our children and all our parents, and we recognise that some parents might not in normal circumstances be able to afford to engage, but we as a school will commit to making sure that that can happen. And that was really impressive. I mean, they were way ahead of the game in thinking about that. And again, they were pushing the rules. They were doing things which weren't normally done. But what they did in giving all parents the opportunity to have access to their children's learning through information technology was, I think, one of the things that was a cardinal success. And this is really important from a local authority's point of view, in that within school at Broadclyst, they cater for many youngsters who have got different aptitudes and different abilities, and who find it difficult in other schools simply because of the environment. The flexible use of technology has enabled all children to flourish within that environment, and to flourish actually not necessarily having one teacher per 30 youngsters. I mean, I've always been incredibly impressed by the way that the school can use its resources very flexibly, breaking away from the model of one teacher in front of 30 children, and the concept of a teacher as a teacher to someone who actually manages the learning of the youngsters and allows them to direct themselves. Once youngsters are directing themselves and they understand what they're doing and they're motivated and they determine the pace at which they move, a lot of the behaviour problems which a lot of schools experience melt away. At the same time as having outstanding results in terms of pupil attainment, they've also delivered really high quality artistic, musical, sporting and other cultural opportunities for their youngsters, and kids are happy there and they enjoy their learning. And ultimately, I think that is the most important thing that they've managed to achieve. Very high quality outputs which have been fun fun for the adults as well. Everyone involved with that school has fun. It is an enjoyable place to be, and it's a place that's full of surprises.